and welcome to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce, where we connect with Troy Chamber members as they give us a glimpse into their company and share some of the business lessons they've learned along the way. Hi, everyone. I'm Tara Thompson-Cusack, President and CEO of the Troy Chamber of Commerce, and I am joined today by the most amazing co-host and Vice President of the Chamber, Sheila Denstead.
Well, hello, everyone.
First, I'd like to take a moment to thank our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Stay tuned for our very first commercial break, where you can learn how you can rely on Trion. Sheila, we've got a great guest today. Why don't you tell us who we're meeting?
We certainly do, and I'm very excited to welcome our dear friend, Ken Seawell. If you'll bear with me for a moment, I want to read this amazing bio right here. Serving as managing partner of Sandler Training by EAM Consulting Group, Ken shows sales leaders and their teams how to master the most powerful sales methodology. That was a
good word for you. That was great. She did, like 3 times.
You said it very nicely.
Thank you. Develop the Sandler selling system. Using this boldly different approach to the traditional sales process, Ken challenges long-held sales beliefs and demonstrates how to place the power and control of sales process firmly in the hands of sales professionals. He's a master mentor, professional trainer, and skillful coach. His impressive background with hospitality, retail, professional development industries gives him the insight to address the real issues that stand in the way of individuals' success and growth. Ken is an accomplished chef, a ruling elder at Drayton Presbyterian Church, a doting partner to his dog Lincoln, and a loving father to his daughter Esther. Ask him about how different is better than better. It's a secret talent. And I think we're going to learn a lot of secrets today from Ken. Yeah. Welcome.
Who wrote all that? Thank you very much.
It was a really good bio, though. There was a lot of energy and excitement in it. I think
master,
that might be master, methodology, good words.
Oh, my God. We're off to a horrible start already.
We're off to a great start. So, Ken, thank you for joining us. Obviously,
pleasure to be here.
This is a really fun kind of conversation that we have. But how did you get involved and join Sandler Training?
By happenstance, actually. So I have a retail planning company where I help my retailers merchandise their inventory. Mm-hmm. And Eric Meyer, my partner at the Sandler, who owns the franchise, cold called me out of retired Royal Oak Chamber directory.
No way.
Just literally cold called me because I was doing consulting.
That was brave.
Yeah, I like it.
So he called me and I said, okay, I'll come talk to you about Sandler. I had heard of Sandler before.
Yeah.
But, when you do your own thing, you kind of need somebody to help you because you're a one-man band. You can't learn how to do things without help. So I went and met with him and I'm like, okay, I like this guy and I like Sandler. So I ended up doing it, and I was his first client. So, we're sitting in the Liberty Center, and he's got an office on the 3rd floor, and he's behind a desk, and he's reading this book, and I'm like, dude, I can read. I'm like, and that's just how it started. And then, we started getting more clients, and back then you could buy this thing called the President's Club, which was a lifetime membership.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so I just kept coming because I enjoyed it and kept coming. And then one day he says to me, Ken, you ever thought about doing this? And I said, well, yes. Yes, I had. And then I became the first employee.
How crazy.
And that was 13 years ago. Yeah.
So you were the first cold call client and transitioned to first employee. And
exactly.
Look where you guys are today.
Well, yeah.
It is very impressive. For those of you that don't know, Eric started in a one room, no windows, and now he is just whole first floor of Liberty Center.
Yeah,
now?
and well, not the whole first floor.
Okay,
we'll embellish a bit. It's fine. So,
but yeah, you remember the stories of him saying, I would just walk up and down the hall practicing, what I was going to say to people and reading the material. It's a hilarious story listening to him talk about his first days there. So
that's crazy.
So impressive. Well, with all that being said, what's new and exciting over at Sandler?
Well, I think we mentioned it before we got on the air, is that, we're probably the best kept secret in, sales performance.
Absolutely.
And the company is starting to address that, the larger company. And so we're starting to really develop a more systematic learning development program. The way people learned Sandler for the longest time was someone was trained by David Sandler, who started the company, and then that person trained somebody, and that person trained somebody, and that person. And so on. And by the time I get to it, it's like 18 iterations of what David Sandler probably said. Mm-hmm. And it's been really effective for a long, long time. But I think we know that today's buyer, the modern buyer today, is much different, much more savvy, much more intelligent, sophisticated about training. So I think we have to up our game along those things and really provide a different level of talent in the way we do things. And so we're combining methodology, which is hands down the greatest methodology out there, with technology and psychology. So the 3 Gs are really part of what we're trying to accomplish. And so we're leaning into technology with AI. And so we have some relationships with some assessment tools that are really helpful to unlock the potential your people have and to really decide if they're in the right seat in the right bus and all those things that you hear, and gives you a better tool for, really deciding whether the people that you're hiring fit what you're trying to accomplish in your organization. And you know the game.
Yeah.
You hire somebody and you think they'll be a good salesperson, and then you missed something along the way in the interviewing process and they don't pan out. And so let's use the AI and some of the intellectual tools out there to help us make that an easier, more profitable, and better results.
Right butts in the right seats.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this is a good moment to take a quick break and hear a word from our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. We'll be right back.
I'm Joe Vicari, President and CEO of the Joe Vicari Restaurant Group, which encompasses 24 restaurants throughout the country. Trion's able to provide for our employees health insurance, 401ks, vacation time. All of that helps us compete against larger companies for top talent. Happy employees make for great service, and that's what our restaurants are known for. That's why we rely on Trion.
You can always rely on Trion.
Welcome back to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. We are here with Ken Seawell, Managing Partner with Sandler Training. Ken, in your bio, you mentioned you teach a boldly different approach to traditional sales process. So what does that mean? Give me some bold examples of some things you're doing.
Right there, that was it. She asked me, what does that mean?
What does that mean? It's
That's a
bold.
Sandler thing right there. So, I think what happens in traditional selling is everyone goes to pitch what they can do, how they help, and what their features and benefits are. And I'll be honest, I say it all the time, nobody gives a crap about it. What they give a crap about is how you can help them solve the problem. So the switch is for me to understand what you're trying to accomplish and what your issues are, because if I can hear what you're telling me, then I can maybe help. But until you tell me what's going on, I can't. And I think the shift for us is to really help our prospects understand and feel comfortable about deciding and discovering that we are the solution to their problem on their own instead of me trying to convince them.
Well, and that makes sense on the aspect of you're not telling someone what they need. You're actually understanding what the needs are to provide the solutions, which a lot of people kind of skip that step.
Yeah, I mean, I say all the time, when someone says, well, I need some help, I say, why do you need help?
Mm-hmm.
I use a car example all the time. You walk into a car dealership, you don't need a car. You want a car, right? And so when you walk into a dealership, I'm like, why do you need a car? What's wrong with the one you got there? Did it break in my parking lot? You can't get home? So we have to get to the real reason. The real reason people buy is because there's an emotional connection to it. They make decisions intellectually, but they buy emotionally, and I have to get to the emotion. What's the compelling emotional reason someone wants to change?
Goes back to that psychology component of what you mentioned earlier. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, she's listening.
I like it.
Well, I was going to say, with listening, I have listened for many years and been very fortunate to. And 2 things that always come to mind when I think about you guys is 2 of the things you taught us. How to get to know and what an upfront contract is. Can you tell our listeners maybe a smidgen about that to get them excited to find out more?
Sheila, which one would you like me to start with?
I'd like a little bit of both, please.
All right.
Wait, and I just have to say, did you notice he asked you a question even about your question to get an answer? That was some sharp thinking.
Trickery.
That's what we call clean sand. And that's really it at the day, right? At the end of the day, it's a conversation, a mutually beneficial conversation between 2 people about the truth. And so if you want to say no, say no. I am not going to get in the way of what's the right decision for you to make. And so if you have the opportunity to say no in any selling opportunity, aren't you free to hear what you need to hear, to be able to ask the tough questions on your end so that you can make a good decision? And that's what it is. And I'll ask you, ladies, let me ask you this. When was the last time someone told you you could say no in a selling environment?
Never. Not up front.
No. Yeah, no.
And when was the last time the salesperson told you they would tell you no if they couldn't help you?
I don't think I've ever had a salesperson say, yeah.
That right there is the difference, because it creates equal business stature. Now, the prospect and I are on equal. I'm not better than they are. They're not better than me. And we can come to a conclusion. If that conclusion is it's not a good fit, then I've done my job. And I think clean Sandler is getting to the truth. So I never hang my head for losing a piece of business, because it's not about losing or winning business. It's about getting to the truth. You want to do it? You don't want to do it? I'm okay either way.
Yeah.
God, I just learned something again, and I've heard that before. Always something.
And I think that's what that upfront contract's always about, right? I don't know about you, but I was, trouble in high school, and, you get the call from the principal that says, we need to see you, Mr. Seawell, in the office. And I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong this time? What are they going to catch me for? And there's always that angst that happens when you meet with somebody and you don't know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And so part of the bonding rapport and building that relationship with a prospect is about clearly communicating what happens when we get together. So Sheila, we're going to sit down and have a conversation about, what you're trying to accomplish. What do you want to cover in this meeting today? So it's a good use of your time. Here's what I want to cover. You can say no. I can say no. So what do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
And now, I've given you some comfort in knowing that I'm not going to try to strong arm you to make any decisions that we didn't agree about up front. Or I'm not going to ask you to pay money for something that we didn't agree about up front. And it's just free, because
you're not really selling. You're having solutions.
It's a conversation.
Conversations on
You're learning.
solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a comfort level too.
And at the end of the day, how many times is the fulfillment step, the proposal, the presentation, this big dog and pony show where we put way too much pressure on ourselves and way too much pressure on the prospect to say yes or no, when the decision, if I do my job right, was made way, way, way back in the conversation. And everything after that was just confirming that this is the right thing to do.
Well, and you're going with the psychology pieces too, where you're going to have those people who really, there's the time is money people of like, please don't spend 45 minutes telling me about it. Give me your 3 facts. Let's get through this quickly. And then you're going to have the rainbows and unicorns of somebody wants the picture to be painted perfectly. So you have to understand that audience, and that helps you get to that conclusion quicker.
Right. And Sheila knows from having done DISC with us in Leadership Oakland that there are different, like you suggest, different personality and behavioral styles. And so I gotta change the way I talk to a D versus the way I talk to an I, S, and C, and just meet them where they are.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Now I'm thinking about what I was and I can't remember. But
do you want
LMNOP.
Do you want to go back through Sandler? I can give you another remedial course.
Wait,
if
we
you
got
want.
how long now?
I got 52 weeks to do that.
All right. I may take you up on it. All right. Well, Ken, thank you so much for imparting your wisdom on us today. If there's one thing you could leave our listeners with, one nugget of information they can take away right now and go run with it, what would that be?
Oh, you teased them at the end there with your bio. I think it's being different is better than better.
Yeah.
Look, salespeople are salespeople. We all sort of sell the same thing, right? And if you have competition in your marketplace, be different, right? Use an approach that's different. Use Sandler. I'll tell you to use Sandler because that's the different. And ask questions, and because being different is about asking the kind of questions that help the prospect discover that you're the right solution for them. So be different. Just be different.
I like that.
I
like that. I think we are.
Yeah. I think we might be too different.
Yeah, no.
In a good way.
I'm not sure I've been told that in a good way. So.
Always a good way.
And that's all we have here today on Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. Ken, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
joining us.
Thank you.
I feel like we always get to learn when we get to sit down and chat.
It was a hoot. I loved it. So.
Ooh, fun word. So for upcoming events or to learn more about how to join the Chamber, go to troychamber.com. Special thanks to our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See you soon.